Hey Kyoko, I did have one last thing. I know I shouldn't, but I feel like I have to
What?
ask. Go ahead then, out with it. Have you really not seen your dad even once since you got here?
What? So...
What do you mean? Well, I know all those lockers on the second... Well, you know all those lockers on the second floor of the dorms?
Indeed.
I do, yes. But to get into any of those of the lockers, you need the handbook of whoever the locker belongs to. Actually, I managed to get them open using that emergency handbook.
I see.
The one you found in the headmaster's hidden room.
And?
So did you find anything worthwhile in the lockers? I found a pocketbook, and after looking through it, I think it must be your pocketbook.
Why is that?
What makes you say that?
Because...
Like I said, only the locker's owner should be able to get into it, right? I can't imagine those lockers belong to any of us. After all, we only got access to that area just recently. What I'm saying is there's no way I could have had access to any of those lockers. And if I did have a pocketbook, why would I bother putting it in a locker? Everything you just said makes perfect sense, but there was something written inside. It was about the headmaster, about your father.
What? If that's
Does
true...
that mean that video is real too? Video.
Makoto,
I think everything is finally starting to fit together to reveal a cohesive picture. Although I'm afraid that picture might be worse than anything we could have ever imagined. What are you talking about? I need to go investigate those lockers right now. I need to confirm what you just said with my own two eyes. Oh, let me give you the headmaster's handbook. That way you can...
So...
That won't be necessary. If I'm right about this, I shouldn't have any problem opening the locker with my own handbook. After all, it would seem that is my locker. Your locker?
Makoto.
If you watch this, it'll all make sense. A DVD, and it says Class 78 Urgent Interviews?
So...
I found it in the hidden room after you left.
Anyway...
I don't have any time to explain exactly what I think it means, so just watch it and see for yourself. I think you realize exactly what it means. You understand why you found my pocketbook in a place none of us have ever seen before. None of this makes sense right now, but I guess that means there's some important clue on this DVD.
Makoto.
Oh, and now it's my turn. Do you have a second to listen to me ramble?
In other words...
So as it turns out, the arrangements I'd made didn't stick. What I mean is, I'm less and less sure of everything, even my own feelings. You're talking about your dad, right? I can never find the answers to the questions I wanted to ask for the rest of my life, and now because of the Mastermind.
However...
There is one thing I am sure of. When it comes to the Mastermind, there's no room in my heart for forgiveness. I swear to destroy the Mastermind. This is just one more reason to follow through on with that. Kyoko's eyes burned with the fire of determination to defeat the Mastermind. It's strange to be confronted with his death and suddenly feel this way. I could care less if my father had found happiness.
Why?
So why is it? Why does it bother me so much to know how he suffered? It's ridiculous. There's no understanding it, I guess. She let out a small laugh as she said it, but her smile was filled with sorrow.
Whew.
So that's it for my rambling. There's so much to do before I can consider my task complete. Yeah, you're right.
Hey.
But keep this in mind. There is only ever one absolute truth. Whether that truth serves justice or suffering. Whether it's the greatest truth or the worst. What do you mean?
Makoto.
Even if the truth you uncover is filled with hopelessness, you still can't give up hope. Absolutely not, because all I can do is keep moving forward. That's pretty much all I'm good at, you know? Indeed. Sorry if that was strange.
So then...
Anyways, I need to get going. I'll see you all at the class trial. Leaving behind that final farewell, Kyoko was gone. I better get going myself. I got the DVD from Kyoko. I should head to the AV room to check it out. Kyoko says something about hopeless truth. But no matter what happens, I won't lose hope. Even if it's the worst truth in the world, I can't afford to lose. Okay, let's go then. First floor, right? AV room. Who's in the second floor? Oh. Okay. AV room. This is the nurse's office. What the fuck is the AV room? Okay, here. Let's watch it. It should be able to play the DVDs just fine. Well then, I better take a look. I took the DVD Kyoko gave me and put it in the player. It said that it was playing, but nothing appeared on the screen. I stared into the black of the monitor. It must have been only a few seconds, but to me it felt like an eternity, and then all of a sudden an image appeared. Sayaka? It took me by total surprise. I hadn't seen Sayaka in who knows how long, and there she was.
Okay then, are you ready to begin?
The voice I heard was of the man positioned on one side of the screen. It was the voice of a middle-aged man.
I do apologize, but I hope you don't mind if I record our conversation. I'm a little slow, you know. I never really got the hang of taking notes while having a conversation.
It sounded like he was trying to make a joke, but Sayaka's tense face didn't move a single millimeter.
So this video is meant to serve as a kind of contract substitute. It's not that I don't trust you guys. It's more like insurance. So please don't worry too much. Now then, let me get straight to the point. There is a chance that you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
You want me to accept that? Sayaka was obviously at a total loss. It made total sense. Who would agree to spending the rest of your life in a school? I accept. What?
Thank you. And I'm sorry about all this. Well, I can promise you that I will do everything in my power to keep you safe. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, I give you my word.
As if on cue, that's where the video cut out. There was a lot I hadn't understood up till now, but this, only this, simply couldn't comprehend what I'd heard. Because I know how much Sayaka wanted to get out of here. I know how much she wanted to escape and pursue her dreams with her friends again. She wanted that so bad she tried to frame me for murder, so why? Why would she say yes to living here for the rest of her life? As I sat there thinking about it, I noticed a sudden light on the monitor. The video that I thought was finished flashed back on the screen. My eyes darted to the back of the screen. And if I was confused before, what I saw next pushed me right over the edge. Oh, it's him. Huh? What I saw was me. Impossibly, undeniably me.
So, Makoto, before we begin, I should let you know that I'll be recording our conversation.
Yes.
Me and the headmaster were looking at each other. He and I were having what seemed like a fairly normal conversation. But the I in the here and now, had absolutely no memory of it. I had no memory of even meeting the headmaster, much less sitting down to talk to him like this.
Now, shall we get straight to the point? Makoto, there's a chance you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
Yes.
This can't be real. I said yes.
I'm sorry I'm putting you through all this.
Well, I mean, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
But I promise that as long as you're in this school, I will do everything I can to protect you. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, that's the very least I can do for you.
Once again, the video is cut out. From there, the video repeated the same scene again and again with the others. Byakuya, Kyoko, Ina, everyone. They all said that they agreed to live in the school forever. And then Kyoko. Her interview with him had been recorded just as clearly. Without a doubt, she had met him. She'd sat down with the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, her father, and when he asked her this question, she answered the same as everyone else. She accepted a life within the school. Just as Kyoko's interview was wrapping up, the monitor suddenly went black. Huh? It wasn't just the monitor, the DVD player itself had apparently turned off. Which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened?
Say what?
This bitch, I swear to God. Oopsie, looks like it broke. Out of service. What? It just so happened to break just now?
Too bad.
Now then, when doesn't matter. Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right? I guess. Failure my ass, you got the power on purpose. Well, whatever. Even if I watch the whole thing, it'll just be more of the same. He'd ask the question and they would all say yes. I couldn't help myself. I let out a huge, exasperated sigh, but as I did, I remembered something.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? Hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Convenient outcome. Something that seemed to obviously work in favor of the Mastermind. So does that mean I've lost my memory too? What about the others? Have we all forgotten? Or... seems like it's time.
For anything that has a start, there has to be an end.
That is true.
And if the end comes, then that means it's time for a fresh start. There is no night that doesn't have a dawn. Although that dawn is totally pitch black. There is no storm that won't eventually end. Of course, then that leads to drought. But as I said, every end is the promise of a new beginning. Which is why I'm sure we'll get to meet again. Because the end is only the beginning. Anyway, let's get started. The beginning of the end of the class trial. Everyone gather once again at you know where.
It's about to begin again. The class trial is going to start. The final class trial. The last time all our lives will be on the line. The last time hope and despair are on the same line. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Okay then. Let me just pay for something real quick. This is the end. Okay, done. I guess I'm the first one this
Makoto.
time. You're early, Makoto.
Listen.
Does that mean you feel prepared? Yeah, for now at least. But where's everyone else? Why aren't they here yet?
However...
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be here soon. And just like she said... And they're not talking to me, girl. Byakuya. Byakuya? Yeah, nobody's talking to me, I guess. They arrived one after the other. But they were all in the same state of shock. Ina? Hiro? Silence. And it wasn't any normal silence. It was the deafening silence of fear and suspicion. It was like the first class trial.
You called for me and so I appeared. I'm on
Strong
fire!
silent master is so wonderful, so cool, so hot. My loins are ablaze.
Yes!
Now listen, everything will be just fine if you leave it to me.
My
With
beautiful
my
scissors!
sharp scissors in hand, I'll stab and gouge and shiv the master of evil. But I thought you couldn't kill anyone but adorable little boys. If it's what master wants, it can be boy, girl, or anything in between. I can handle it. Where am I? No human language can describe the disappointment I'm feeling right now. Is everyone here? Ooh, and wearing our gloomy ghost faces, I see.
Well now.
Okay then. Well, let's begin.
Thrills, chills, kills!
This final class trial is gonna be slattered in pitch black despair, maximum sorrow.
That's fine.
You're right, this is the final class trial, and this time it'll be fair. What do you mean this time? Stop with all this slander. I'm a bear in good stranding, you know?
Unbelievable.
If there was a Mr. Fair Guy Universe contest, I'd take home the tiara every year. I'm gonna win this game super fair and square.
Today,
and I'll make
I'm
sure
feeling
everyone
white.
watching at home knows that despair is mightier than the hope.
Stop talking.
Enough of your tedious drive. Will begin the trial already. Sure, let's begin a trial already. I'll be waiting for you down below.
You guys.
So don't try and run away. Okay, laughing as loud as ever, Monokuma disappeared. Whatever.
In the name of my
This
family.
will be over in no time. With inexplicable confidence, Byakuya was the first into the elevator. One by one, the others followed.
Hey,
They're all acting odd, like they're paranoid, suspicious of each other.
however,
But you know why that is, don't you? Yeah, I think so.
however.
Well, you can tell us about it soon. At the class trial. You're right, I'm
So,
ready to win, right? Of course. I'm glad to hear you say that. And then Kyoko was aboard the elevator. I started making my way toward the opening, step after step toward that gaping maw. I'd resolved that this would be the last time. I repeated to myself that there was no fear, no mystery left. I pushed the anxiety down, calmed my trembling body. And finally, on steady legs, I passed the threshold and stood in the elevator. Without warning, it began to descend. Deeper and deeper. Deeper, deeper, deeper still. Deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper it fell. Closed my eyes and sight fell away. Our sound, too, disappeared. Alone in the universe, I waited for the elevator doors to open for the last time. What could have been seconds or centuries later. I felt the gentle vibration of the elevator come to an end. I slowly opened my eyes. This is the final trial site? What do you think? Isn't it just the perfect background for deciding a person's fate?
Yahoo!
It's the long-awaited last stage, the always exciting final boss battle. And I'm gonna sit on this one. I'll just sit right here in the vacant 16th seat.
Thrills, chills,
Well then,
kills!
Let's begin. Oh, okay. Let's go.
Since this will be the final class trial, I've come up with a special rule. So listen up! If you can figure out Mukuro's killer and go on to solve the mystery of this school, you guys win! But if you can't,
I like how he's standing on top of the thing.
then I win!
Okay.
And of course,
we die.
waiting for the loser is the super exciting, super heart-pounding punishment!
are you saying that if you lose, you'll execute yourself?
Yep, sure will.
And that's final? No loopholes? No wiggling out of it later?
Of course not. Bears never go back on their word.
Never mind all that. I just have one question for you.
Oh, you're taking this serious, huh? Are you feeling okay?
Is the mastermind only one person?
Hmm?
Don't bother. I already know the answer.
He thinks it's me.
You're all the mastermind, aren't you? You're all out to get me!
Girl.
I'm right, aren't I? I knew it!
What the f... Okay.
You guys have all been working together, haven't you? I have evidence, so I know I'm right!
Hey, you stole my line. You're all out to get me. I'm sure of it. I have evidence of my own.
We were just friends.
What a coincidence. I too have evidence to present. Evidence that proves everyone other than me has been working together.
What? Wait, hold on. This doesn't make any sense. How can the three of us
Each have that kind.
No, that's wrong. It's not just you three. I have evidence too.
What? You too?
The evidence you're all referring to is this group photo, right?
Well, yeah. Huh? Wait, but mine's different. With the picture you have, I'm in it. But that can't be right. 'Cause in my picture... See? I'm the only
Your
one
picture
not
is
in
different. I figured as much, in which case...
Hero, you have a picture too, right? Let's see it.
Okay, but be careful with it. It's pretty important evidence.
Why is Junko facing backwards?
So the secret in these pictures has been revealed.
Secret or whatever, I don't care! You guys are all in on this together! That's why I'm the only one missing!
That would make zero sense.
But you're in my picture. You're the ones trying to trick me.
So the whole purpose behind these photos was to get us questioning and fighting with each other. The Mastermind laid a trap to make us each think everyone else was working against us.
Huh? I laid a trap? A trap? How rude! What grounds do you have for such audacious accusations?
Proof I need to reveal Monokuma's trap. Each photo has a certain something in common. There's a connection regarding what person isn't shown in the group photos, and the person is the ones who got the photos.
I got it! In each case, the only one not in the picture is the person who received it. So, in the picture I got, I'm the only one missing.
He has his hand in front of Junko's face.
In the picture Hina
Junko's
got,
facing
she's the
backwards
only
on
one
this
missing.
one. And she's facing backwards
And in the
on
picture
this
Hero
one. That's
got,
us.
he's the only one missing.
Everyone else is showing face.
As long as we're talking about it, I suppose I should show you my photo as well.
Oh, please do. Junko has water on her face. Everyone else.
In other
we can
words,
see.
Monokuma gave each of us a group photo in which that person wasn't included.
And when we each saw our picture, we just assumed everyone else was the enemy?
That's a really dumb assumption to make.
Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, I thought that must be it. But how was that a hint?
But you know, there might be more to this than just Monokuma trying to confuse us. There's something else that bothers me about everyone's pictures. What is it? What's digging at me?
Listen, can I see everyone's group photo one more time? It's not directly connected to what we're talking about, but I'd like to double check something.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I'm sure there's something unusual about these group photos. What is it? I need to compare each of them one more time. Byakuya's picture. Hina's picture. Hiro's picture. And mine. There's something strange about all of them. Something I can't quite pin down. Something.
Can you just forget about the photo already? Ugh. Trying to trick me with such an obviously fake photo? I'm still pissed about that.
That's
And on
weird.
top of that, they went to all that trouble to make it look like we were wearing matching uniforms.
So you think they're fake? No, I assure you, they're quite real.
What are you talking about? There's no way.
Yeah! I don't remember ever taking a picture like that. So it's gotta be a fake. I'm sure of it.
But you know, can we really be so sure?
Huh?
Don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
I don't remember taking this picture either. But is that really enough to be absolutely positive they're fake?
What do you mean?
The reason I don't remember this picture isn't necessarily because it's fake. There might be some other reason. Some terrible reason. An unbelievable but entirely horrifying reason. Okay. Amnesia. I need the letter S. Now I need the letter A.
Now I understand. Let's say that somehow we'd all lost our memories. That could explain it, couldn't it?
Oh, I get it. So we all just lost our memories at the same time and forgot about the photo. Makes sense. As if. You expect me to believe such an unbelievable occult-type story?
Yeah, we all lost our memories? That's just crazy.
It's only natural that they wouldn't believe it. But no matter how much they refuse, if that's the absolute truth, they have no choice. We can't move forward until they accept it. And there's another way to prove it besides those pictures. The DVD, babes. The DVD. But there's a lot of things.
You're saying we all got spontaneous amnesia? Since when did this turn into some kind of sci-fi fantasy?
I promise you, I haven't lost my memory. Ever since I got to this school, I remember everything that's happened.
Do you really?
No, that's wrong.
Let me see if you remember this DVD right here.
Those photos aren't the only things that point to the possibility of memory loss. This DVD does the same thing.
You're not gonna show us something indecent, are you?
Girl,
No, it's nothing like that. It's a video of all of us being interviewed by the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster.
When you say all of us, you mean
I mean all of us, including you.
you lie! I never did any kind of interview.
No, it's not a lie. Just watch the DVD and you'll see for yourself. The headmaster did, in fact, interview you.
What are you saying?
I didn't imagine you would remember.
It's not about whether or not I remember. You expect me to believe all this? That I lost my memory somehow?
Well, we don't have any way to refute it, so we have no choice but to accept it as reality.
How can you say that? We're talking about living, breathing amnesia here!
To be honest, I have something else on my mind right now.
Something else?
You said the DVD contains recordings of us being interviewed by the headmaster, right? What were the interviews about?
The headmaster sat each of us down, one at a time, and asked us the same question. He asked us if we could accept the idea of spending the rest of our lives in this school.
What kind of question is that?
And how did we answer?
We'd say no, obviously.
Actually, we all said we could. Even me. I heard myself say yes. I could spend the rest of my life at this school.
Why? Why would you say yes to something like that?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing.
The same goes for everyone else. Nobody remembers. You don't remember choosing to live here forever, or even talking to the headmaster about it at all.
It doesn't matter if I remember or not. Even if I bought
Actually,
the whole
it does
amnesia
kinda
thing,
matter.
the idea that I would want to live here forever? That's just insane! How can I believe that?
Insane or not, we can't move forward until you accept it. Am I right?
You sure are, 'cause it's all true.
What?
I know it sounds absurd, but if it's the truth, there's nothing we can do about it.
Indeed. We only have one path in front of us.
Then, we really...
Yup, you all totally lost your memory at the same time.
This is all making my head hurt.
And this isn't like some normal kind of memory loss. You stole those specific memories from us, didn't you?
Oopsie, you figured that part out too, huh?
Of course. There's no way we would all just happen to get amnesia at the same time.
But how could someone just steal our memories?
How? Come, that hardly matters right now. If I said it was hypnotism, would you believe me? Or we opened up your skulls and messed with your brains? Would you really believe anything I said? How it happened doesn't matter right now.
What matters is figuring out what memories you took from us. That's what you're trying to say, right?
I knew I could count on you.
The interview with the headmaster, taking that group photo, those can't be the only memories we lost. There must have been a purpose to it all. A reason for taking away our memories.
Of course there was a purpose. It all has to do with the original motive.
Original motive.
You mean the motive you came up with to try and get us to all kill each other?
That has something to do with the memories you stole from us?
It sure does. But that part's still a secret. Anyway, I'm sure it's not easy, but let's all focus on the class trial for the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Okay, so you want us to figure out who killed her before we do anything else.
So until we do that, well, either way, we have to explain every last remaining mystery. So the one who killed Mukuro, the true mastermind, that's what we need to expose. All right.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything. That much I'm sure of.
But when you think about it, is the mastermind really here in the school?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
What does make me so sure?
Girl, the control room,
Exactly.
are you kidding
You're
me?
just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is here. The mastermind is probably a million miles.
That
No,
wouldn't
that's
even
wrong.
be possible.
There's no question that the mastermind is somewhere within the school.
How do you know? Did you find some evidence or something?
In the back of the data center, I found a panel that controls Monokuma. The mastermind must have been using that to control him all this time. So there can't be any doubt. The mastermind has been inside the school all along.
There can't be any doubt. In which case, there also can be no doubt that the mastermind is one of us.
What? Why?
Recall what Makoto told us Monokuma said to him earlier.
Yeah, whatever it is, fuck it. I don't care.
So if the mastermind is in the school, we have to assume it can only be that 16th student.
But how'd they manage to survive all of this?
So we're the only ones here? It's not me! I'm not the mastermind!
Obviously.
Well, it's not me!
I blame Makoto!
What? Why me?
'Cause it's super weird how you're the only one who survived being executed.
Oh, I get it. The only way he could have survived is if he was actually the mastermind himself, right?
Aw, nuts! You got me!
Wait! What are you trying to say?
Everyone, calm down. There's no reason to panic. The Mastermind's true identity will become clear soon enough. Just as soon as we find out who killed Mukuro.
That's a good point. Rather than wasting time bickering, we should put our minds to work solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, how much time have we already spent talking about the murder?
He's right. What more is there to talk about?
If you want something to talk about, I think there might be one thing. We haven't fully established what Mukuro's fatal injury was.
Huh? But I thought we figured that out. She died when she got hit in the back of the head.
No, that isn't actually what killed her. It was something entirely different. Wouldn't you agree, Makoto?
Makuro's actual cause of death must have been the other wounds.
I got it! All of the wounds covering her body. That's what really killed her.
Hey, now hold on a second. You did read the Monokuma file, right?
The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old.
It made it pretty clear. Those wounds were made at least a few days ago. So they can't possibly be what killed her.
Consider this. What if the murder itself took place at least a few days ago?
What?
What if, when we discovered her body, she'd already been dead for several days? If that's true, then naturally the wounds that killed her would appear to be however many days old.
That doesn't make any sense. Because she had all those wounds before she ever came here.
Huh? How do you know that?
Isn't it obvious? She was the ultimate soldier, right? So that means, you know.
You're wrong.
She denied me before I could even say anything. Come on. I mean, you think I'm not weird, okay? At least listen to what I have to say before you deny me.
You're so sure we're gonna deny you. Why bother saying it in the first place? Right?
Mukuro was the ultimate soldier. She must have been in 100 different battles. So, when you think about it, obviously, she got all those wounds in back.
No, that's wrong.
It was several days old, but not like months.
No, Mukuro didn't suffer those wounds in battle. The file we found in the headmaster's room said as much. Despite the time she spent in battle after battle as a member of Fenrir, when she entered this school, she hadn't sustained a single injury.
To be denied so completely. Actually, it's kind of refreshing. Maybe it's because of all of Master's training.
Anyway, so we can be sure that Mukuro suffered all those wounds after coming to this school, in which case, they could be the very thing that killed her.
As a matter of fact, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. When examining her body, I found that her stomach and head wounds came after she was already dead.
Unless anyone has any better suggestions, I think we can say this with confidence. The wounds Mukuro sustained all over her body are what ultimately killed her.
Didn't Junko get
But if
punched
that's
a
what
bunch
killed
of
her-
times? That's Junko's body.
Then does that mean she's really been dead for who knows how long?
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden, she'd already been dead for several days.
So then, what about the little matter of what happened last night? Makoto, you said you were attacked in your room by a masked assailant. If Mukuro had already been dead for several days, certainly it couldn't have been her. So who was it that attacked you?
The identity of the one who attacked me, I can't think of anyone else. Well, it is the Mastermind.
I got it! The one who attacked me was the true Mastermind. When we discovered Mukuro in the garden wearing the same mask, I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me. But I was wrong. It wasn't her at all. It was the Mastermind.
See, but I'm confused because that's her right hand holding the knife. If that's Mukuro, because Junko is dead, she was supposed to have the tattoo. Because it said on her file that she had the tattoo. Right? She had a symbol of the Fenrir. So I'm a little bit confused. Unless she does have the tattoo, but it's not on her hand. And Junko was also part of the Fenrir, and she got the tattoo on her hand. I don't fucking know, but I know that's Junko's body for sure.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little impatient sitting here listening. I think I'm gonna jump in. Let's start off with a nice, easy question. Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption. You can't really know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of a mask. The true identity of the masked attacker is Mukuro Ikusaba. At least, that's what I think. Do you have any evidence that might convince me otherwise?
No, there's no way Mukuro is the one that attacked me, even if I didn't see their face. Mukuro had a very obvious Fenrir tattoo. Comparing that to the masked attacker, it should be obvious. Exactly.
You never saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea who was under that mask. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba!
You're wrong. Even without seeing their face, there's another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her.
Oh? And what is this other part? Is it the right hand? Or the left hand? Maybe the right foot? Or perhaps the left foot? Or could it be the hips?
Her most noticeable feature, the tattoo that marked her membership in Fenrir. The tattoo was in a certain easy-to-spot area.
You never saw their, so you can't have. I'm telling you now, it was
No, that's wrong. Mukuro had a tattoo on her right hand, if I remember correctly. A representation of Fenrir. In other words, a wolf tattoo. But I saw the right hand of the person who attacked me. And there was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't her. But that still doesn't prove that it was me. It could have been, someone else, right?
Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I all have solid alibis for that entire night.
Yeah! We were in the gym tearing you apart, so it couldn't have been any of us.
Oh, okay, sure. It couldn't have been any of you. But What about Kyoko? It totally could have been her. Uh-oh, no snappy comeback? Did I score a bullseye?
If you insist, I don't mind showing you.
Huh? Show me what?
What do you think? I'll show you the one thing that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it wasn't me.
Before anyone could say anything, Kyoko was removing her gloves.
Your hands!
Without thinking, I let out a gasp. It was more than just a little burnt skin.
Awful, isn't it? It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was inexperienced.
I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the Mastermind, it doesn't really bother me.
Kyoko seemed to savor the words as she said them. Then she put her gloves back on.
My scars should suffice as proof.
I'm thinking.
Makoto, did the person who attacked you have scars like mine?
No, not at all. I'm positive.
Then this much has been made clear. There can be no doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true Mastermind.
This is just awful! On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I do hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Not at all. You can say whatever you want.
Sure, as long as it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? But I'm not cornered just yet, because if you haven't noticed, the circumstances surrounding Mukuro's death are totally unknown.
That's true. All we know right now is she was killed a good while before this morning.
It couldn't have been Junko though, because she was a model. She can't have tattoos. So did like the tattoo was like a stamp? Well, it wouldn't have survived. Well, it would have survived the water because it could be one of those tattoos, you know, those ones that come with gums, and then you just put it in your skin, and it doesn't come off in the water. You have to rub it off. So maybe one of those, if that was Junko's body, or I don't know, because her face was covered in every single picture, and we could see Makuro's face, unless they're like, bro, I don't know. I'm thinking, I don't know.
On the contrary, we don't know anything other than that.
I'm still bothered that we
You're
couldn't
not
see
going to
Junko's
tell
face
us
in
she
the
was
pictures.
already dead before we arrived here or something, are you?
In that regard, you have nothing to worry about. I promise you, without a doubt, she...
Can I look at the picture? Wait. Can I look at this? No. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is Junko's body. I just don't know what the fuck is happening.
Then somehow she was killed in secret without any of us knowing.
And after she died, who knows how much time went by before we found her, right? Did the culprit stash her somewhere? She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could she?
If she was, she would have been totally decomposed. Just like your brain.
Then she was being stored somewhere?
But to hide a body here, to just store it somewhere?
There's only one place. I can think of anywhere else the body could have been stored.
I got it! Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
The biolab? You mean on the 5th floor?
That's right. It's actually set up for use as a morgue. So it's the perfect place to hide a body. And it'd keep the body preserved at the same time.
Then you're also saying the body was moved from the biolab to the garden.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In fact, I have proof.
The proof that shows the body was carried from the biolab to the garden. Or something that made its way from the biolab to the garden. Yes, the tarp.
I got it! What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Oh, it says Biolab.
Holy cow! How'd you notice that tiny little thing?
Makoto's nitpicky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
This proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab. In fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers, and put the coat on it afterwards.
Wow, you made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
But that's just a wild guess! Where's your evidence? Prove that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved!
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened. But you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Worked up?
Now that the conversation has turned to the topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it?
Are you talking about unmasking the Mastermind?
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency. One so major it can't be overlooked.
An inconsistency in the biolab? Could you be talking
La la
about...
la, I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him.
I need to pull myself together and think. The inconsistency in the biolab. Could you be talking about...
Hey, by the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think? I'm talking about your family.
What?
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message. So what do you think? Are you sure your family's still okay?
Why are you bringing that up now?
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. What do you think has happened to your family? Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Yeah, I need to calm down. You can't let him get to me. He's just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth of the biolab, so if I want to shut him up, I need to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. The inconsistency has to be that one area where the numbers just don't match up. Well, they do match, actually. Biolab lights.
Are you sure about this? What are you even talking about?
There's like
Are you
7
sure about
lights
this?
left.
That's
There's 7
impossible!
people left. Because we were 60.
Better luck next time. Punishment is waiting for you. Are you sure about this? What are you even talking about? I'm not listening!
Biolab lights. Oh my gosh. Please, please.
This should prove it. The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is the lights.
What are you talking about? What about the lights?
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is stored.
Hold on, that's 4. 4, 8. That's not right. How much is 8 plus 7? I don't know. I need my calculator. Hold on. 8 plus 7. That's 15. And we're 16 people. That's weird.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot.
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in.
Okay, so that's 4, 8, 9. That's 9.
And there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta
But
give me the
that is
bite-sized
right.
version
It's
here,
the number
man.
of people who died. It's, Sayaka. Sayaka, Leon, Taka, that weird guy, Sakura, Celeste, Mukuru, and Junko. That's 8 people. Wait, but see, he said 9. Chihiro, that's 9 people. Yeah, actually that don't make sense because then both of them would be dead. Mukuru and yeah. 9 lights doesn't make sense. The number of lights that should be on is... Wait, now I'm confused. Is it 8 lights or 10 lights? Because there's only 6 of us, right? So it should be 10. 10 lights. Because it should be 10 people dead. Oh yeah, it was the fat bitch. I forgot about the fat bitch.
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Yeah, so it's one body
Suspicious?
missing.
Why?
That's simple. Just recall who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
You're right. That's right. That's the key to solving this mystery. Sayaka died first, that's right. Junko was second. Leon was third. Chihiro was fourth. Mondo was fifth. Taka was sixth, and Hifumi was seventh. Celeste was eighth. Sakura was ninth. And victim number 10 was Mukuro. So 10
people in all?
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious. But according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people were being stored there.
What the fuck?
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
I got it! The Mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
No, it has to be Junko's body because it's only 9 people who died because Mukuro is not dead. So they reused Junko's body to say that it was Mukuro. Because if we were to count Mukuro, that would be 10 people dead. But we're not counting Mukuro because she's alive and she used Junko's body because it's the same height and the same weight. And it had the nails that Junko has.
But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed
crazy?
Mukuro's body, since they actually killed her. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then, whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the
Make sure
number
you
of
don't
murders?
reuse the body. The reason there are less bodies than murders, the explanation for more murders than victims. Why is that? Why would it take for it to make sense? The same person was killed
I got
twice.
What about if the same person was killed
Bro, are you
twice?
serious?
Huh? Killed twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far, but one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
Murdered and murdered again?
If that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Technically, you're right, I guess. But still, something like that.
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
It was Mukuro, of course. Before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on!
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. So Mukuro is actually Junko. So Mukuro came to the school as Junko. And she got killed by Monokuma, who is... I don't know who. Now, he said one of the students. So Mukuro was the Junko we saw. So Monokuma, the mastermind, is Junko, the actual Junko, because then it would explain the tattoo, and it would explain that Junko's face was blurred when what was not on screen, we couldn't see it when Mukuro was in it, because then we would be able to tell it's two different people. That the Junko that was in the pictures isn't the Junko that we knew. So she was killed. That explains the tattoo. And then they kept the body. Junko kept Mukuro's body, and then dumped again later to be like, oh, somebody died, but nobody died. Interesting. That's interesting. That is a good plot twist.
Besides, who could that someone else even have been?
All you have
Took
to
me a
do
while
is
to
look at
think of
those
that.
bodily injuries of
Thank
hers,
you, Kyoko.
and that will become obvious.
Nothing's gonna become obvious because Kyoko's totally delusional.
Yeah, babes. No, she got you. She got you. Okay, I want to see actual Junko's face then. Her actual face.
Who is this someone else that Muku? Was it Sayaka, Junko, Leon,
Oh, fuck, I missed
Kuwata,
that.
Chihiro,
I
Mando,
think I was supposed to
Kiyotaka, Hifumi, Celestial, or maybe... No, there's no way anyone was murdered twice!
There is actually a way.
Who is this Was it
Saya, Junko, Enoshima, Leon, Kuwata?
Bro, are you...
Chihiro, Mando, Kiyotaki, Fumiya, Celestial, or maybe... No, there's no way anyone was murdered twice!
Okay, I'll stop it.
Who is this someone else? Was it
Sayaka, my Junko, Enoshima, Leon,
Chihiro, Mando, Kiyotaki, Fumi,
Celestia,
or
maybe Sakura Ogami. No. There's no way anyone was murdered.
No, that's wrong.
Hold it.
Junko. Wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
What do you mean?
It's exactly the same, actually.
Well, remember what happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears, all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered,
Then those similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up. That explains why those two bodies are actually one and the same.
so let me see if I have this straight. Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears. Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again.
Exactly.
Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
it's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait, so then... yeah, what does it all mean?
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9. Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, 1 is still alive.
And that's the true identity of the Mastermind?
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She's still alive. She took Junko's body
They look alike.
and made it look like she
Allegedly.
was
But
the
that is
one who
Mukuro, so I
died.
wouldn't know.
So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be. Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro alive? The one that's still alive is Mukuro? But can we really believe that? No, there's no way. There's no way Mukuro Ikusawa is still alive.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
No, that's wrong.
It is absolutely right, because the thing,
No,
it matches.
the body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's one thing we can be sure of. The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records.
Exactly.
Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32. Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Someone's made it look like they died, but they're actually still alive. There's only one person it could be. It's fucking Junko. Are you serious? Bro. It's like Kuma. Okay, that's funny. It's this bitch.
Here's my answer. Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation.
Yes.
But we saw her get impaled. She
But that
died right
wasn't
before our
her.
very eyes.
I thought we established that.
If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade. But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Now that you mention it. I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. I did check, absolutely, and I can say
She
for
was
sure.
dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
So, the idea that she's still alive.
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I
Oh,
know
no.
you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud.
I know, I'm right.
Too bad, too.
This case hasn't been decided just yet.
Exactly, chill out.
You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
Huh?
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
No,
Then both of them are
bro,
dead,
it's so
right?
Simple. It's
There
so
can't be
simple,
any kind
really.
of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
How could Junko have survived? I checked, she was dead, I'm sure of it. But still, if she were alive somehow, could it be that Junko's not the one that died? It wasn't Junko, but someone else entirely? Maybe she used some sort of trick. Bro, I thought that was fucking obvious. Like, come on, just use your brains a little bit. replaced.
Now I understand. That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Switched places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place. Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything match Mukuro's profile, right?
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but... that had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
Yeah, you're saying they switched? When could they even have done that?
Before they arrived.
Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
Good point. There's just no way they could have switched like that. So maybe the whole idea is wrong.
There has to be some way. I need to figure out how to explain how they could have switched. They switched at the beginning.
I got it! The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right? After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
Hold on.
That's
So
a heavy ass
you're
wig.
saying the Junko we first met
I feel sorry for her.
was actually Mukuro all along?
Then we'd already met her?
I had like a normal conversation with her.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was. So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference. That would easily allow the two of them to switch places from the very
Well,
beginning.
someone mentioned her face. Someone mentioned that she looked different from the magazines. And she was like, oh yeah, it's all the Photoshop and some shit.
Wait,
I remember
but
that.
Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right? Junko never had any tattoo like that,
Girl,
did
that's
she?
makeup. Easy.
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that.
Exactly.
If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished. Plus, there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
But if she really did use foundation,
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't Mukuro. So I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto. But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup from the very beginning?
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
The reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair, teamed up with someone like her. In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid? Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
Then why haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense. Junko's my secret identity? As if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
I tried to protect her identity? When did I do that?
So he still refuses to admit it, but he can try to deceive us all he wants. It doesn't matter because I've already figured it out. He tried to hide Junko's identity, and not just once but twice. The first time was during our latest investigation. The DVD. Because when we tried to watch it,
I
broke
got
the
it!
fucking DVD player.
While I was in the AV room, watching the DVD of our interviews with the headmaster.
Girl, nobody cares about this.
You made sure I couldn't finish watching the video. And the
Yes.
reason you did that
So we wouldn't see.
is because
Mokuro.
you didn't want me to see the
Junko.
real Junko, did you?
Oh, yeah! If everyone was in that video, of course Junko would have had to show up.
And if Makoto saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke!
No, it wasn't a fluke. The Mastermind definitely orchestrated that power outrage. And that's not the only time they try to hide Junko's identity. The Mastermind tried to cover up one other piece of evidence. They gotta reveal that. You have the group photo. You're getting it, bitch.
Better luck next time! Better luck next time! Better luck next time! Are you sure about this? You're getting all riled up!
Oh god, that was fast.
That's impossible!
Group photo.
This should prove it. The video wasn't the only thing you tried to cover up. You did the same thing with this group photo.
Oh.
I noticed it just a little while ago, when we were all comparing the photos we'd gotten. In all the photos, there's a certain similarity, an unusual circumstance.
What's so unusual about them?
The unusual circumstance common to all these pictures. The unusual circumstance is Junko's
I got it!
face. Duh.
Junko's face. The one thing common to every single photo is that you can't see her face. It's hard to believe her face would just happen to be hidden in every single picture, don't you think? And on top of that, in this photo, you can see that Mukuro is clearly visible. So in other words, at that point, the two of them hadn't switched yet. With all that in mind, there's no doubt that the girl whose face is hidden here is the real Junko. Which is why you had to have pictures that didn't show her face. Because if we could have seen her face, then it would have clearly revealed that the Junko in the pictures wasn't the Junko that we knew.
Xanadu!
I believe everything Makoto said is true. Junko and Mukuro switched places before we met either of them.
So she killed Mukuro, who had taken her place, making it look like she'd died. And the real Junko is still alive.
And she's the one behind this whole murderous situation. This killing game. She's the true mastermind and the ultimate despair.
Xanadu times 2!
With this, the identity and the crimes of the Mastermind have been exposed.
No, wait, hold on!
Don't bother trying to deny it. There's no more room for debate. You don't have anywhere left to run. I'll prove everything. Right now!
Okay. What's in here? What was the identity of the ultimate fashionista who I met in the main hall? Junko. It was Junko. But I don't see Junko. Wait, no, it was already the bitch. It was already her. It was already Mukuro. Where did the Mastermind keep Mukuro's body? Morgue. Mastermind attacked me with something. What was it? Knife. When the Mastermind attacked me, who was it that stopped them? Kyoko. After their surprise attack failed, the Mastermind fled my room. Is this fleeting? I wouldn't fucking know. What did the Mastermind do with the mask after they took it off? They put it on the body. What was the condition of the dead body when we first found it in the garden? Like this. And then it exploded. It was like this.
Here's exactly what happened.
I'm guessing this is the right order.
We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko Enoshima, right after we all arrived here. But that wasn't the real Junko. The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student who had taken Junko's place. And that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusaba. But it wasn't long before she died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the Mastermind, Junko Enoshima. Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue until Junko decided to put her body to use. Junko dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, who'd proven to be one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school. So she put on a mask and then attacked me. After making sure I'd gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room. Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body. This was all to make us think the person who attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place.
Okay, I got it right.
Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence. She needed to hide the body's true identity. She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met in the beginning. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder, and the one who carried it all out is the true mastermind. The one controlling Monokuma. The real Junko Enoshima! That's the whole story behind this incident. Well, what do you have to say to that?
What? Are you broken again?
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Come on! It's time you finally revealed yourself!
It's not like you're an endangered species or something. How long do you plan to keep hiding?
Give it up, Junko. The game's over.
Oh. Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Wrong! There's still plenty more to go!
Okay.
We have been waiting
Oh, no,
so
she's
very
British.
long for peasants like you to appear.
Oh
If
god,
you
it's
swear
terrible.
your fealty to us, we will reward you with half of the entire world. We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status, and some of our home cooking. Have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
No thanks.
Oh, did you think I was being serious? Sorry, I was just messing with you. It's been so long since I've had an audience. Even I'm not sure what kind of role I'm supposed to play.
This is the Mastermind. She's the Ryo Junko Enoshima.
Anyway, looks like I've finally been set free. Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day. It was like I was stuck in purgatory. Or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?
Your face.
Huh? What about my face? What's wrong with my
It looks
beautiful
the
face?
exactly same. The
People
freaking
have
same.
told me I'm cuter than 100 chihuahuas combined.
She just doesn't have freckles.
I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen you.
No, I do remember seeing it. I'm sure I've seen her too somewhere. It was definitely before I got to the school. Yes.
I got it!
In magazines.
That's right. It was before I ever came to this school. I remember seeing a magazine cover. And you were on it.
Wow, you have a pretty good memory. I guess that's why you've made it this far, huh?
So I was right. Then what you told me in the main hall when this all began.
I've seen her on tons of magazine covers, but I feel like that doesn't quite match up to reality. Exactly, so it was us. Huh? Oh, are you talking about my cover photos and junk? Ah, well, of course, those are totally photoshopped. I mean, it looks the same to me. She just doesn't have freckles. I think that's the only difference, right? To me, at least. that's the
Sometimes a
difference.
little lie is necessary to keep things moving along. Wouldn't you agree?
That explains
guess.
why she didn't quite seem the same. Because she was a different person all along.
They have to be like
I'm
sisters
me.
or something.
And Mukuro is Mukuro. She tried her best. But there's just no way she could have passed as the ultimate fashionista. Two people can never become one as long as the walls of mind and body exist. Not even if they're twins.
Oh. Yeah, that explains it.
I know, it's such a cliche, right? I'm almost embarrassed to admit it. So basically, Mukuro and I had your stereotypical twin relationship. The older sister, tough and proud. That was Mukuro. The younger sister, smart and cute. That was...
Me! Junko fucking Enoshima! And together, we were the Despair Sisters, aka the Ultimate Despair!
Whoa! She's a totally different person now!
Yeah, what the
Like I
fuck's
said,
going on?
I get bored easy as hell! I even get fucking bored with myself! But if you're twins, why do you have different last names? Oh, that again? You have any idea how many times people ask me that shit? Maybe it's new to your dumb ass, but it bores me to tears. Answering the same
Girl, I
questions
feel
over
you.
and over? Just make up whatever answer you want. I don't give a shit. The truth's fucking lame anyway.
But if she was your twin, that means you killed your own sister?
And for reasons deeper and darker than the ocean. Ha! As if!
Well, I suppose I'd better explain. For my plan to work, someone had to be able to control the killing game from behind the scenes. The so-called mastermind had to operate Monokuma, keep an eye on everyone, things like that. But after looking at the situation, I determined it would be impossible for Mukuro to perform such duties. Because naturally, she turned out to be the letdown of the family, leaving me behind to run off and join some band of mercenaries. Such a disappointment. So, I decided to play the role of director and have her join the rest of you in your school life. I could have let her work alongside me, but she would have been useless to me that way. Besides, 15 students seemed like a solid number to start with. Of course, the fact that she was the ultimate soldier posed something of a problem. She had what I call the three atrocities. Atrociously rank, atrociously filthy, atrociously repulsive. It was atrociously clear just how out of touch she was with the rest of society. Meanwhile, my ultimate fashionista status has an undeniable appeal that I didn't want to go to waste.
And that's why you switched identities?